Most churches are wasting their time on social media. But in this video, I'm going to show you how to use ads within social media platforms like Facebook and Instagram in order to promote events at your church so that you can get viewers to your website and to turn those viewers into visitors in person at your church. My name is Chris Jackson, but many people call me the SEO priest. Search engine optimization priest. Today we're not talking about search engine optimization as much as about ads, but I'm excited about this because this video will save you a lot of headaches. So here's what we're going to cover in this video. How to run meta ads to a landing page. So meta is Facebook and Instagram. And here's what we're going to cover. How to make an ad creative, how to write ad text, and how to set up an ad campaign in Meta. Now, to get access to these show notes and all my free resources, please subscribe to my newsletter, the Church SEO Shape Up newsletter. You can do that by going to churchseo.io/newsletter. It's where all my best content lives. And then, of course, please like and subscribe here on YouTube. So first of all, let's talk about the why of running meta ads. So ads are about the only viable way for most churches to get significant reach on social media. So when you are on social media, you have so many forces against you as a church. First of all, you have the algorithm, which isn't really tuned into churches super well. Many of these algorithms actually suppress religious content, but also in order to do well in these algorithms, you have to be incredibly consistent in your posting. And by incredibly consistent in your posting, I mean multiple times a day in order to get any kind of significant reach. In addition to that, it's a highly competitive environment. It is professionalized at this point. The influencers who are showing up well in social media, they know the algorithm very well. In all likelihood, they have some under the table things they're doing to help boost their videos and their posts on social media. And they know all the trends that they need to hop onto. You, however, probably don't have all those skills. I know I don't have all those skills, and it takes a lot of time and effort to do that. And so ads are your way around all of that. Ads are a way that you are not working against the algorithm, but you're working with the ultimate purpose of the company, and that's to make money. And so if you are helping them to make money by running ads on their platforms, they are going to do their absolute best to make sure that you are winning, that you are accomplishing what you are seeking out to do on their ad platform. So this is a great way to get yourself out on social media in a way that cooperates with these platforms. The Meta ad platform knows exactly who to put your ads in front of. Meta is a great platform to run ads on because they have been measuring every last thing about their users for a period of 20, 25 years now at this point. And so they know exactly who needs to see your ads. Then it's fairly affordable. So for a Meta ad campaign, a lot of times you're paying $150, $200, $250. I used to spend $250 just to run one small print ad in a newspaper 20 years ago when I started doing church marketing, when I was planting a church. And postcards, you could easily spend $1,000, $1,500 to send out a postcard to the community. Really easy to blow through a lot of money that way. But for way less than that, you can get your ads in front of way more people and way more targeted people because once, as we said, Meta knows who to share your ads with. It takes advantage of the billboard in everybody's pocket. So our phones are some of our most intimate things. They're on our bodies almost all day, every day. It's what we use to communicate with our loved ones. It's what we use to look at pictures of our families. And so this lets you take advantage of this thing, which is it's very intimate to people, and that's very powerful. Then finally, it's an efficient use of staff time. So instead of having a staff person uploading 20 videos or 20 posts a week, instead you can have them spend an hour making an ad creative, setting up an ad campaign in Meta, and then you can just say, hey, my social strategy for the church for the next couple weeks, it's taken care of with an hour's work of time. So before we move on how to set up a campaign, let's first talk about the basics. So first of all, there are 3 entities in the Meta ad framework that you need to be aware of. The first and overarching entity is a campaign. So a campaign is sort of the definition of the why of what you are doing and running this ad. So in our case, we're going to be having a why of traffic. Then there's an ad set. So ad sets live under campaigns. It's sort of a subcategory of a campaign. And ad sets answer the who, where, and how much. So that's where you're going to define your audience, where this gets served, and how much money you're going to spend. Then finally, there is individual ads, sometimes get called creatives. And this is what people see on the Meta platform. So let's get to the how. So the first step is to make a landing page for your events. I'm not going to be covering this in much detail because we addressed this in episode 1 of this YouTube channel, but we already have a landing page all set up. This landing page is shaped in order to hopefully gather registrations for people to register to claim a free gift at one of our Christmas events. So maybe you set up a landing page for Easter or your rally day, Sunday school rally day, or your vacation Bible school. But no matter what, your landing page, you are looking to get information from them, ideally a name, phone number, email address, that sort of thing. So set up your landing page. Go check out episode 1 on this channel. Then you need to make sure that you have a Facebook ad account set up. Now, most of us already have an ad account, even if we don't know it personally. So you want to make sure that that's all in order. Not going to cover that in this video, but also you need to make sure that whatever account you're using to use that ad account, that you have full access to your church's Facebook page and Instagram if you have it. And if you don't have Instagram, you can actually use your Facebook page to still get out on Instagram. Then you're going to make 3 image creatives. So you can use either image, static image, or you can use video creatives. I actually think static image creatives work better in a lot of circumstances than video creatives. So that's what I went for this. You need to make these in 3 sizes. So you need a square and a vertical and a wide landscape. You can see the 3 sizes that I have here: square, wide landscape, and vertical. And essentially what I did is I found a public domain nativity scene. So in this case, from a medieval nativity fresco, and I put a dark overlay color over it that had a high degree of transparency so you could still see the image, but that dark overlay helped to give contrast to the white text. And I just put the white text Christmas on there, and then I have our church name and logo as well. That's not the only kind of creative that you can do. So you could do, for example, an invitation on a whiteboard. So have someone who's halfway artistic write an invitation on a whiteboard. If I had a little bit more time, this is probably what I would do. And take a picture of that. You can either have it being held by the pastor or a member in the church, standing inside the church or outside of the church, or maybe you could prop it up in the chancel on a chair or an easel. Finally, a picture of kids is always great, because if you have a picture of kids, that is just, it's going to garner likes just by nature of it being cute kids. So it's actually going to even help your organic situation on these platforms, but make sure you have permission to do so. The qualities of a good creative, it's going to have a strong connection between the creative and the landing page. So it's got to be obvious that you're promoting a Christmas landing page, you've got Christmas content on the creative. Ideally, something that stops the scroll, so that's visually stimulating, and then something that as well encourages click-through. Then you're going to write your text. You have 3 different kinds of texts that Meta is going to ask you to provide: primary text, your headline, and a description. So your primary text is your main text. About 60 to 140 characters is a sweet spot, but you can go up to 280 characters. Probably want that in sentence form, so 1 to 3 short sentences. And this is the meat of your text. So the who, what, when, etc. And so I have some examples here. So I've got: looking for a meaningful Christmas? Join us for candlelight carols and the hope only Christ can give. Register for your free visitor gift today. I also have a version of that without emojis, so you can put in multiple texts, and Meta is going to test these against each other, and on the basis of what it's seeing, then serve the best text to people. So maybe they decide emojis are good, maybe they decide emojis are not good. So provide both. Keep Christ in Christmas. Learn more about our Christmas services and events. So this is kind of trying to play off the whole like war on Christmas thing that even non-church goers get into. So it's trying to kind of rouse that emotion in people, like, yeah, we need to keep Christ in Christmas. And so then it segues into an invitation to come to our Christmas services and events. And that ... there, that's actually deliberate. That's sort of like leading people into clicking so they can explore more, learn more. So that's a little trick that you can do. And then I've got a different version of this as well, this time with emojis. Your headline, 30 to 60 characters. So you want this to be a little bit more punchy, scroll stopping, click through inducing. So you want to stop the scroll as people are doom scrolling, and you want them to click or tap so that they can move out to your landing page. So title case is fine here, or not. You can do a sentence, that's fine too. But here's some examples. So I've got this: keep Christ in Christmas, same thing with an emoji. Christmas services and locale. In my case, that's going to be Door County, Wisconsin, but you can insert your locale there. I have the same thing with the Christmas tree emoji. And then I like this. I don't know. This might be goofy. Maybe Meta likes this, maybe it doesn't. I don't know. We'll see. So stop doom scrolling. Tap here for holiday hope. So just being very deliberate. Stop scrolling and tap so that you can go see my landing page I'm trying to send you to. Then a description. So this is a short additional message. Many people will never see it. So Meta doesn't put these in all ads. So I just have 4 here. Register for your free visitor gift. Same thing with the emoji, and then Christmas Eve service and time. In my case, 7:30 p.m. And the same thing with an emoji. So once you have all of that in place, and you want to get this done before you go to try to set up your campaign, because trying to come up with this in the middle of a campaign, you're going to get lost and confused. It's just easy to have it all in place. You're going to click out to Facebook Ad Manager here. So I already have it loaded up. And the first thing that you're going to want to do is to select the ad account that you want to use. So I'm using my agency account here. And then you are going to click over on this green button to create a new campaign. And as I said, the campaign level is where you define the why. And the why of this campaign is a traffic campaign. We want to drive traffic to our landing page. So then you're going to hit continue. Now, it's going to ask you if you want to do recommended settings or manual traffic campaign. Definitely do recommended settings. So Meta knows what they're doing and they want you to succeed. So they're going to steer you generally into good places if you hit recommended. There's still a few things to tweak, but it's a good starting point. So when you're in here now, you can name your campaigns. So I'm going to call this 2025 Christmas Traffic Campaign. And for campaign budget, we're going to use an ad set budget. And I am going to be eventually creating another ad set for this, but you don't have to. But because I'm going to be creating another ad set for this, I'm going to share some of the budget with other ad sets. And so I'm not going to hit A/B test. I'm not going to do special ad categories. Now, I'm going to hit next. And now we're going to name the ad set. So I'm going to just name this Christmas 2025 Christmas Traffic English, because I'm actually going to do another ad set eventually in Spanish. So conversion location, we want to send traffic to our website. Now this is important. For a performance goal, you want to select maximize number of landing page views. Now the reason why you want to maximize the number of landing page views is because the default is maximize number of link clicks. But the thing about that is that not everybody who clicks the link will wait for a landing page to load. So if you can select maximize number of landing page views, that's going to help you out a good bit that way. Now, when it comes to the preferred audiences, I actually don't think for this purpose it's very critical for us. So we're not going to create a rule set. Daily budget, I'm going to set to $10. That's a good starting point because if you set it for $10, it is enough that you actually get some traffic, but it's not so much that you're going to waste a whole lot of money if you need to make some adjustments. So start date is fine because I want these to run almost immediately, but you can adjust that if necessary. Because this is going out to a landing page for Christmas stuff, I'm going to have this stop on Christmas Eve here. Audience controls. So this is really important for churches because you want to make sure that you are only serving these ads to people that are really going to show up to your church within a radius of your church. So right now the default is that it's just set to the United States, way too broad. So we're going to narrow that down. So my church is located in Forestville, Wisconsin. I went ahead and added that in, but the issue with that is that because I'm on a peninsula here, this is bringing in a little bit of the other side of the Bay of Green Bay, which is too far. So I'm going to bring in that radius a little bit closer. I think 21 miles ought to be about right. Yeah, that's about right. And I can legitimately get people from there. But also because I'm sort of a regional church, I draw people from all the way up this peninsula. So I'm also going to put in Fish Creek, Wisconsin. So there we go, Fish Creek. And once again, it's selected 25 miles. But in this case, once again, I don't need to be bringing people in from Upper Michigan. So I'm going to bring that down to, looks like 13 miles might be about right. Looks like 13 miles will do the trick. I accidentally put in someplace near Escanaba. I'm going to take that off. And let's keep rolling. Now, in terms of Vantage audience, so I'm not going to do anything in here. My experience is in trying to put audience suggestions is that it's just not applicable to religion usually, so I'm not going to select that. All right, now we're going to set up the ad itself. So if you can see, we've got the campaign here. we did the ad set, and now we are going to go down to the ad itself. So I'm going to call this 2025 Christmas traffic ad 1. So you need to select the Facebook page it's going to be associated with. So in this case, it's going to be St. Peter's Lutheran Church. And then as well, to get it out to Instagram, if you have an Instagram account, that will work. But I'm going to be simply using our Facebook page for that, same with Threads. So the ad setup, going to go ahead and create an ad. And then we need to select what URL this is going to be associated with. And it's already set to my landing page from some previous work I was doing, to my Christmas landing page. Then display the link that you want to show on your ad. So I'm just going to put doorcounty.church on there. For browser add-ons, we're not going to add any of these add-ons on because they are not applicable. Nor are we going to set up, we don't want to send people to a Facebook event or a phone call. Add creative. So we're going to go ahead and do an image ad, as we already talked about. Now, it wants to potentially suggest these site links, and we don't want to do any site links. So I'm just going to delete all of these out. So these site links are going to be a distraction from the main idea of what we want this ad to accomplish. We want this ad to drive people to the landing page, not to make a phone call or whatever. Then we're going to select the media. So I've already uploaded all 3 of these. So we're going to select them. Now it's going to be a little bit weird because of this. So for the square, I'm going to go out and replace and put the square. And then for the horizontal, I'm going to replace that and do my horizontal image. All right, so this looks good. I've got a nice square image for the square. I've got a nice vertical image for the vertical and a nice horizontal image for the horizontal. All right, now we get into adding the text. So we've already done the work in terms of getting these texts ready. So this should move along pretty quickly. Okay, so we have all the texts and the call to action in there. Now we're going to we're going to hit next and head over to enhancements. I am fine with all of these various enhancements, so I'm just going to hit done. For the tracking, you probably aren't going to select anything for tracking. However, I have something called a Pixel installed on my website. This is a piece of software from Facebook that tracks what actually happens on the site. So you are probably going to leave this blank because setting up a Pixel is a good bit amount of work. So it's something that you can do as you continue your journey with running meta ads. But so I'm going to hit website events, and I'm going to use the VBS Pixel because that's the Pixel that's installed on my church website. Okay, everything looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and hit publish. And there we go. The ad is published. Now, when you publish it, it's going to say ad sets inactive. And the reason why it's going to say ad sets inactive, they have some work to do on their back end to make sure that your campaign, your ad set, that it all complies with their policies and so on. It can oftentimes take an hour or 2 for them to start serving your ads. So you might want to come back and check on this later. So finally, I will say, check on this daily. Ads are something that require maintenance. They require regular supervision. So you want to check back the next day to make sure that they're actually running, to make sure that they're doing what you want them to do, that it's not burning through money, so that you can continue to dial this in for the purposes of your church. It's been a pleasure to help you set up a meta traffic ad to a landing page on your church website. If you like this video, please like and subscribe, and we will see you later. This is Chris Jackson, the SEO Priest.